Good morning. My name is Ashley. I want to talk to you this morning about challenges, not your everyday challenges where you wake up in the morning and you've got a plan and something happens and something goes wrong and now you're faced with a challenge. Talking about deeper challenges, traumatic challenges, things like getting divorced, for example, or being the child of a divorced family, or losing your parent to a disease, or losing your best friend in a car crash, or something like that, something really traumatic that brings your life to a complete standstill, something that really paralyzes you. And then how do you move forward from that? How do you take one step forward, or how do you begin to deal with a challenge like that, something that really breaks your heart into pieces and leaves you unable to move forward? And what I really want to do is just to ask you two questions. One of the things that happens when, just a quick story, a couple of years ago I was attacked and assaulted and left for dead, for example. And one of the things that I was left with is why? Why did this happen? Why me? What did I do to deserve this? And you end up with a lot of questions. How did God allow this? Why did God allow this? And it really leaves you in a place where you struggle to move forward from that. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. What I want to ask you is, you can ask yourself the why questions as much as you want. You can ask it in so many different ways and still get to the same frustrating place of not getting an answer. So what I want to ask you is, I don't mean to sound insensitive when I say this, but I want to give you a different perspective. Something that helped me a little bit as well is, instead of asking why me, why asking all these questions that just leave you frustrated and angry and even more in a heartbroken place by not getting answers. What I want to ask you is, why not me? Why not you? Why did this not happen to you? Or why did this happen to you? Why should you not be the one to have this happen to you? And it doesn't make it any easier, but what I want to ask you is, when I think of the question, there's no right or wrong answer, but when I think about it, why not me? Why was I the person that had that experience, that horrible experience? And for me, the first answer that I think of is, well, maybe I'm strong enough to handle it. Maybe I'm strong enough to deal with it. The other thing that comes to mind is, why not me? I became a richer person because of it. I've learned to appreciate life one day at a time, to just enjoy life. My bonus time, as I like to call it, because I was given a second chance at life. And it's not easy to think about these positive things when you're not in a positive place. But what I really just want to ask you is, why not? Why not me? Ask yourself that, why not me? And try to see a different perspective on what has happened to you. Have you become a richer person because of it? What's the first thing that comes to mind if you ask yourself, why not me? Instead of asking the why me questions that you never get an answer to. And I know it's frustrating. The other thing I want to ask you is, or the other thing I want to challenge you with, is something that helped me quite a bit through that difficult time of asking questions for months and being fearful and filled with anger and rage and frustration and struggling to move forward. One of the things that helped me is, who is the only person who can help you with the answers that you need? Why did this happen to you? Why did this happen to your friend who's a Christian who doesn't deserve it? Why is it your dad that had to die? Why is it your dad or your mom that suffers with some sort of disease that really just, rips your heart to pieces? Why is it your child? Why are you the person, your family? Why did you have to get divorced? That sort of thing. Why was it the person that you loved that was in a car crash? And those questions, who can answer them for you? Quite simply, in my opinion, there's only one person who can answer, and that's God himself. Why did God allow it? There are so many things that you could ask and get frustrated about, and get really frustrated because you don't get the answers. So what I want to ask you, what I want to challenge you today, is something that helped me as well, and that I hopefully will be able to help you, because this really is a message of hope, not a message of discouragement, is, what are you going to ask him when you get the chance? Where are you going to get your answers from? And your answers, in my opinion, as I said, is from God. But when are you going to ask him? When you get to heaven? When you get to go home? Are you going to ask him everything that you want to ask him? And in the meantime, what have you done with what's been given to you? What have you done with the life that you have in your hands? Have you spent it worrying, frustrated asking questions that you don't get answers to, because quite frankly, you can ask anybody that has been through something really horrible and they will all tell you you never get the answers to the questions. So the point that I want to make is, what are you doing with the time that you have until you get the opportunity to get those answers? What I chose to do at one stage was just to decide that I would just ask God when I saw him, ask him everything that I wanted to ask him. I would ask him every single question that bothered me. But in the meantime, I've got bonus time, I've got extra time of my life, I've been blessed, I've been saved for a purpose. And maybe for the time being, those answers can take a step back. Maybe they can be put aside so that I can enjoy my life for now and ask him when I get the opportunity. And hopefully those why questions that are driving you insane about whatever horrible thing has happened to you, maybe it's possible for you to also get to a point where you can decide to ask him when you see him. Ask God when you get the opportunity to go home and ask him everything that you want to ask him. And in the meantime, do the best that you can that is humanly possible to make the best of the situation that you have. See, the thing is, the reason that I can tell you this is because I know that pain is universal. My situation may be unique, my story may be unique, your situation is completely different. But at the end of the day, pain is universal. Whether I lost my dad, whether I've been attacked, whatever the situation is, two people can be in the same car crash and experience it differently. But the fact is, pain is universal. And that's why I share this message with you today. Hopefully you can get to a point where you ask yourself two things. Why me? Or why not me? And the other thing that you can ask yourself is, do I have to have my answers right now? Because it's not going to change the fact that it happened. Maybe I can get my answers one day when I see God face to face, and in the meantime, do the best that I can under the circumstances that I have to move forward one day at a time without having the questions drive me insane every single day. I hope this message has been encouraging to you. Thank you.